What the fuck, OBS? There we go. Hey guys, I'm finally ready to stream. Let's do this. I'm getting my camera back a little bit. How's that? Make sure my mic is here. Hopefully you can hear me. It looks like it is. Good. So finally, I'm gonna do. I was trying to do this a few hours ago, but it was too noisy. I'm gonna do the One Piece chapter 1088 review. A cup of coffee. Uh, I need a cup. Sit there. So in the last chapter, we continued. We came back to Garp and Kobe. From the from what was that? Like 1081 maybe. I forget what it was. So throughout, we've had this intermission starting from the second half of 1079. I don't know, maybe we really don't call it that, but kind of, because ever since then, um, I actually really would just say 1080, because there were other chapters where he was cutting around. From 1080 till now, so 9 chapters, whole chapters, we've not seen anything going on Egghead Island. We jumped to see what happened with Sabo and Dragon. We saw more of the Gorosei. Well, that was like a see, what was more of the present stuff? Wait, let me look again here. I got the other chapters on my tablet here. And I feel like I want to see like how many different little things he jumped between. Let's see, One Piece, Egghead. Let's see. So in 80, yeah, 80 was when he first showed. 80 was one where we saw 80. That's right, because first we knew Garp was going to come to this island at the end of one of the earlier chapters. In 1080, he arrived with the other members. 1081. What happens in 1081? 1081 was the last time we saw Garp. Right, 1081. We there, and then we split to see what happened where Blackbeard was at the time, because we saw that Blackbeard wasn't on what is it? Wasn't even on his home base at the moment. He was trying to fight Law. He had ambushed him at the other island. See, am I? Oh, so I just want to make sure I'm live on YouTube here. So 1081 was the last time we saw Garp. And then yeah, good, looking good. Okay, so then in 1082, that's where we jumped around a bit and saw, yeah, we saw what was going on with Buggy and Mihawk and Crocodile. We saw what was happening with, we found out where Suru and Sengoku found out about him heading about Garp going to Hachioso. I'm saying that name wrong, I'm sure. And then we saw what else we saw there? We saw and then we saw the Reverie flashback. That was the biggest. I think that was the most numbered chapters, other than seeing what Garp. We got those multiple chapters that showed the showed another side of what happened. Not another side. We knew what. I keep forgetting it. We knew that. I forgot to look up those episodes. We knew that Sabo and those other captains were going to go to were there at Reverie, but I don't remember them showing much of what happened when he had the Reverie arc right before Wano. So this flashback in a few chapters ago showed that, and so now, yeah. Anyways, yeah. So Oda, and finally, spoilers on this part. According to the end of this chapter, we are definitely going to be heading back to Egghead next thing. So I'm after eight and a half chapters. Oda is finally getting us back to there. Which, by the way, I want to look quickly. How long has that been since we 1078? I posted a video about that in the middle. Oh yeah, it's been since March. Since we last saw the Straw Hats. Holy shit. April, May, June, July. 4 months. There's gonna be a break, so it would technically probably be, let's see, if there's a break next week, it'll be beginning of August when we were kids. So like 4.5 months roughly since we will see Straw Hats again. And someone pointed out, I think I was watching Tekking's video the other day from the other chapter review of 1087, that this is the longest amount of chapters that we've ever had a absence of showing us what the Straw Hats are doing. Like the only other thing that comes close was just when Luffy got separated from the crew at Sabaody. We didn't see much of the rest of the crew, but we stuck with Luffy throughout Amazon Lily, Impel Down, Marineford, etc. But other than that, no, we've pretty much always followed the Straw Hats, and we would always have like I don't know, would we have like one full chapter? We'd have like, I know, like, see, post Dressrosa. I know we'd see what happened with the fallout of stuff like Dressrosa, where Doflamingo got arrested, and then we would see like that's when Kaido got introduced, and we saw how he crashed there in that meeting where um, Kid and the others were. So, anyways, let's get into this. So, last chapter. So, yeah, the chapters. The first chapters with Garp had first shown him arrive, and Kobe had managed to escape with the help of Perona of all people, and we still don't know where she is afterward. And then Garp arrived, and him and Kuzan started fighting. And in the last chapter, the other Titanic captains each try to go after him, and we don't see it. It's kind of done off screen, but we saw that Sanwan woke up finally and charged Garp, and he was flung into the water. I hope I hope that's shown better in the anime. And then at the end, though, the tide gets turned a little south because things going south because Shiru tries to stabs Garp. So, and he's their ace. So Hamepo and Kobe and what's that guy's name? Groose are still there fighting, and while the other ones, who else was there again? That new girl, Kajaku, and the girl who likes Kobe are got back to the ship with the civilians they saved. So they're there, they're escaping. So these four are still fighting, but Garp's their ace. They're acing against fighting and keeping at bay against these guys. And so Kobe immediately is getting scared. I'm sure Hamepo too. Was that? Let me see. How did that? Yeah. And the others are like, oh crap! Now what do we do? Because we need and yeah, and it ended with I'm sorry, I'm going on down such a tangent. It ended with uh see. Yeah, it ended where Garp was still fighting with Kuzan, and then and Pizarro was gonna stop the other ship from escaping. But let's start the chapter finally. So we start the chapter with actually a flashback where we go back. This is over 2 years ago, and we at Navy HQ, and we see Garp giving a lecture of all things. And let me tell you, he's not quite that good at it. Uh, we know where this is because of the time frame, because uh, we see Kobe here. The way we first saw Kobe, a young Kobe, not young. How would I say that right? It's too loud. Let me turn this down a little bit. There. I don't want my voice. Young. We see Kobe as before he went through his puberty stage again. He hadn't hit puberty yet. This is how we saw him in the beginning. The first, how many chapters was that? He was only on screen. Then we had the chapter covers. I forget how many of those there were, but he was only with Straw Hats for Luffy and then Zoro for like what 3-4 chapters, and then he went here to be trained. And so he's getting a lecture here, and it's not just him. There's a bunch of Marines here, And what Garp is doing is he's actually what's going on is he's given a basically I guess you call it an ethics course, an ethics lesson. Like they have those ones where you're like, he's going for something like but I'll tell you what it is first. In comparison, he says there's a child and a old man who are on a island full of beasts that are going to come after them and kill them. And you have a boat at the shore there, and you can that only can hold 2 people total. So you only can end up saving one of these people, the old man or the child on the on the on the island. And then he says, "What would you guys? What would you do to? How would you solve this situation? Who would you save?" And Kobe gets up and says, "I'd get off the boat and stay on the island and let both of the people get away." And at this, Garp is ticked and he throws, what is that, a bottle? He throws something at Kobe and says, "No," yells at him, "No, fuck that. No, that's not what I want." Um, and this, what Garp says is the answer he wants is leave the leave the old man behind and leave and save the child. And at this, there's another officer there, a woman, and she's shocked at how Garp is doing this lesson. And Garp goes on a little tirade here, saying, "Why did you even bother becoming Marines? To stay, you want to safeguard the future. You want to protect the people and stuff. That when you, to do that properly." He goes on to say, "You take the child, get the one who has more life to live, and leave behind the old people." And after that, we switch to a like in a break room. It looks like, and that woman's that other officer who was there is reprimanding Garp, and she's whacked him over the head. It looks like with a bat, and she's telling him, don't give that kind of lesson to hit like that. All lives are equal." But Garp starts arguing with her here and saying, "Yeah, but potential youth is the youth has the most potential. That's where you have to take priorities with that." And so, anyways, yeah, this reminded me of the where's that other thing I should have up over here just in case. It reminds me of that. There's the let me put that there. Wait, how come I can't? There is a ethics question that's always used where a train is coming on toward a group of people all tied up on the train on the tracks, like 5 or more people, let's say, and there's you can save them by switching the tracks by pulling one of those levers that can make it switch to another direction, but down that other direction is a single person, and that person will die. So who do you save, the 5 or the 1? It's always like a very interesting question to bring up. I try to remember what other people when I did one of those courses talked about. Um, yeah, the problem with that too, when I think about something like that, is what if that one person is someone that you know, is a wife or a best friend type thing, and it's you'd probably go and save them, and absence of sacrifice the other 5. It's the kind of things I wonder if other people think about that. So, anyways, so now we go from this flashback. Now we jump back to that's something else I want to look up in a sec. Hold on, I have to look this up for this. So we jump back to Amazon Lily when Blackbeard raided the island. So that and this was a few weeks ago at that point. Okay, and we see that the So I think the admirals had the Marines had arrived here first to yeah. There's that guy. Is that him? Wait, because one of these vice admirals is here. I wanted to check his name. Which guy is that? What is his name? He's one of the ones. One of these vice admirals. He's the one who's at Ennie's lobby. Is there? He looks kind of like Pluto from yeah, that is him, Yamazaki. So I thought only Kobe was here, but apparently this other vice admiral with the cigar, Yamazaki or something, Yamakaji, sorry, Yamakachi is over there, and uh, and what's happening here is the some of the other some of the other Marines that I maybe they had already stormed the island to try and get um Boa, Hancock, have been taken prisoner, and the vice admiral's hands are tied. He won't. Uh, he's standing back because he hasn't have permission to attack Blackbeard because he's an emperor at this point. Uh, so yeah, the other and these other Marines are just crying their eyes out. We're like, what? So please, someone save us because we're going to be taken back to that pirate island. We don't, unimaginable things will probably happen to us there, or they'll probably torture us or just sell us to slavery. So the other admiral's standing back, the vice admiral, excuse me, and but Kobe. This is where we see where Kobe steps up because we didn't see how this happened. We saw where the last time we saw this so this I see how this must be playing out because let me think. How did that happen last time? I think what happened is the scenario how we saw it last time with this scene was uh Blackbeard had made it to Boa and had her in his clutches, literally. And Kobe was there trying to defuse the situation. And then Rayleigh came in and actually did defuse the situation. He made Blackbeard back down. And then we saw afterward where uh what's her name's with him? Rayleigh, Boa, I think Granny, her granny, and what's the other woman's name that's with Rayleigh? They're all together there, and when this is where we find out that Kobe was taken by Blackbeard. Now we see how it happened. So this must be the point where Blackbeard is retreating because Rayleigh must be nearby, but now he's taken prisoners of Marines. So this is where Kobe steps up to help, and what he does is he puts him. This is where he puts himself as an offer here to Blackbeard. Take me. Uh, oh man, he's got 800 of the Marines. Wow, they had to send a lot of them there. So he says, if you will let those other Marines go, I'll willingly go with you instead." And uh, this probably really helped give up his street cred now with these other Marines here, because some of them are even like, "Captain Kobe, you do that for us?" And Blackbeard's like, "Ah, you're quite full of your stuff, eh?" But he took him. Um, so yeah, is that how that played out? Wait a minute, let me see if I can check that chapter quickly. I want to look at that. What chapter was that? I think that was like 1054. View out chapters. Hold on a second. I want to remember how that played out, where they showed that. Let's see, 60. The Captain Kobe. It was 1059. Captain Kobe incident. So that was what 29 chapters ago. Come on. So first we see. Oh, we do see that he was there. The other admiral, vice admiral, a few weeks prior. So he had them deploy vice admiral had them to deploy the pacifistas. Uh, that's where they saw S Snake, and that's when Blackbeard came in. And then he came in. Yeah, he had Vasco and Catalina with him. Oh wait, this is something interesting too. Look at this. Catalina wants to have Boa's face head for a trophy, and then he says you can have to take her powers. And then the other guy says, Vasco says, what if we took her alive? So I wonder if that, I'm trying to think about how, because we still don't know if he has to kill the person to get their devil fruit. But the way Blackbeard says that, unless that's a mistranslation, it makes it sound like he can take it without killing them. Oh yeah, someone told Vice Admiral Yamakaji, you gotta give an order. We need an order, and he knew right there we can't do that because it's an So he must have had them back down. He made them back down because Blackbeard arrived, and then but then Kobe, yeah, the other Marines were already there, given sieging her castle. And then that's what the Seraphims came in though and attacked Blackbeard. How did he stop that Seraphim? Because yeah, S Hawk came after him, and but then he got her there. There's where he comes in and grabs her, and Kobe was right there. Yeah. So somehow Kobe was there, but then that's when Rayleigh shows up. Oh yeah, what's her name again? Shaki. Yeah. So then we go afterward. Let's see. Who was this? Was that when the Marines were going away? Okay. Anyways, yeah. So this is yeah. Sorry for that delay. I wanted to review that chapter. I should have did that earlier, but okay. So he had Rayleigh's not shown in this bit, so Rayleigh must have still there probably, but not with yet. He captured he captured a bunch of the Marines that were besieging her Boa's place, and Kobe gave himself up to free them. So now we switch back to the present point of the present day on Honeycomb Island, and we're continuing right where it left off at the end, where the Marines on Garp's ship are seeing that hand from Pizarro come down on them, and they're trying to fend it off with cannons, but it's just too large, and he's probably using like bedrock or something, and so it's not working at all. Uh, to it, I wonder. Oh, I just thought of something. I wonder if they would use like cannons. I wonder if they have ammunition at all that is I wonder if there's any chance to get ammunition that might be made of sea prism stone that would work against this. I should put this like that. Anyways, yeah. So Tashigi, yeah, is taking charge here, and she's because they can't fend it off, they can't avoid it. She starts getting everyone to abandon the ship because in order to try and save themselves. And then we also briefly see Kajaku there, and she's like just looks a bit like an awe and some terror that of Pizarro's ability there. And then we switch back to the battle on the island itself, and we have a Garp on the ground right after Kuzan knocked him down, and we got Groose and Hamepo and Kobe are still standing around him, and they're all Kobe though kind of freaking out too because he was worried about the ship, and Hamepo and Groose seem like they're focusing at this point to make sure these pirates don't get to Garp, and yeah, we can see the hand etching in the background there. That's pretty cool. And Garp though, he's definitely I like this scene here because we definitely see how Garp like in contrast more to Luffy is a good leader in strategy and like deploying his men and having them do creating. He's like a quarterback or a coach or something. Where Luffy like is an inspirational leader, but he doesn't really think up formations and strategies. So Garp, what he starts doing it here is like, I don't worry, guys, you got this. Um, I'm gonna give you an opening, and after that, and he's like, Kobe, you're gonna go and take out the hand that's going after our ship, and Groose is gonna protect the. When Kobe is done doing that, Groose is gonna use his powers. You guys use your powers to stop the debris, and then Himepo's gonna provide cover by keeping other people away from the other two. And what happens here? This Kobe is like, wait, what? How that can't stop that thing? So and then Kobe keeps going on. I don't know if I can do this and all this stuff. And Garp says, stop it. You don't second guess yourself in the moment. Now do it. And so all three of them rush off to follow his plan. So while that's happening, so the other pirate starts pursuing the other three, because they're as I was trying to say there, they think, as like I was trying to suggest earlier, that the without Garp, the other guys are nothing. So they start getting very bold, and they start pursuing the other three. And actually, I just noticed something. The one pirate they drew there, it looks he Oda drew him. He looks remarkably similar to one of those other pirates that were on Kid's crew with the really long hair. Just a side thing. So Hamepo stops first, and he's planning on holding off that group of pirates pursuing them. So then, while he's doing that, the other two are they running up? I think what's going on is they're running up. Oh yeah, they're running up on top of Pizarro's arm that's about to smash the ship. Okay, that's where they're going. Yeah, I just saw that in the last shot. They show that. So they're going on top of the arm, and they're getting up there, and then yeah. So then Groose asks Kobe like, "What? How are you going to stop this?" So by the way, this what we're about to see here is we're about to see what Kobe's fighting ability is. We briefly saw him fight with Luffy at Enies Lobby, but I can't remember much of what that was. But so did he? I should have looked that up too. I don't remember that much, but this is probably like the first time we've seen him do anything since then. Wait, I should check that. What was that? Let me check a second. What did he do at Enies Lobby with Luffy? I wonder if I can find that on YouTube. I have the episodes. Wait, I could probably just find the episode myself. I have them here somewhere. Just a second. Let's quickly check that. I know. I think what happened when he ambushed Luffy at that part, and let's see. Let's just let's just pull some of these up. Turn down. Strongest family. Let's see. Is this the one? Oh, here they are. Let's see. Oh, he sent them to try stopping him. There comes Habepo with his weapons. Oh, he tried to kick Luffy. Oh, and then he moved away. Oh, okay. He kicked Luffy and then dodged in, but Luffy grabs him from behind. So, not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. Yeah, I think that was a kick he did there, right? Oh, and he was using one of those techniques. Oh, yeah, he did draw all the blood from Luffy there, I think. It looks like he learned one of those techniques that the Cypher Paul uses. So, anyways, Yeah, I think that was the only fighting we ever actually saw Kobe do, and now we're gonna get a better taste of it this time. And what we get a quite good of what idea here of what Garf's been teaching him. Um, so we continue. After what I leave off. Oh yeah, Groose and Kobe are continuing up the hand. Groose says, what you got? Bombs or something on you?" Because it's so enormous. Because we get a great scale of it here. Because that ship, I think the ship there is a pretty large one. It's got 3 masts, and that hand is covering it easily. So, anyways, uh, Kobe's like, "No, I don't have anything like that. But I'll figure something out." And Groose is like, "What? What do you mean? Eh, this thing's gonna crush the ship in its palm. You better have a." And Um, so then we continue with we switch back to Hamepo briefly, and he's uh, running again from the running from the. Looks like he turned and ran a little bit from the pirates, and they're firing at him with cannons, and he turns around to stop it, and it looks like he got hit with one there, and Kobe's about to go and try to save him, but. Bruce keeps them on track. Like we can't stop now. We have to go finish what Garp said. Yeah, Hamepo too is really like does a good job here. I'm very proud of how far they've had Hamepo come as a character from when we saw him in back at I don't know what that villager's name was when he was a asshole. How do I put this like that? There we go. Also, when they had that little lecture in the beginning, that flashback, I think Roos was shown there too in the background. So now we switch to Garp. Sorry, now we switch to Garp, who gets back up because he said he was going to provide a distraction, and Huzan comes back out too. It's like, what do you plan on doing, Garp? And he's like, what, especially with a wound like that. And he's like, Garp just laughs it off and is like, ha, it's just a scratch. You're not going to stop me. Uh, and Kua's like, oh, now here was I was worrying about you. And Garp just gets says, "Oh, that just means you're soft still." And he freaking rushes Kuzan and smacks him down good. Damn, that was a good scene right there. God damn, Kuzan did not see that one coming. What did he do there, Garp? How did Garp move that fast? Holy shit! He just like it just shows him there. When they show him rush there, it reminds me a bit of how Zoro, when Zoro and Kuma faced off on Enies Lobby, and they like not Enies Lobby, that was Thriller Bark, excuse me, and they had that little scene where he did that two sword style, the way he rushed Kuma, but of course it's not anything the same. But so what he oh, I did not see how that looked that good. So what he does, he rushes toward Garp's plan. He rushes toward the skull, which is still in control by Pizarro. Actually, wait, look! Wow, look at him. He's moving like a pinball. I should have read this on this big screen earlier like that. He moves like a pinball among the islands, the buildings up toward uh um the skull, and he's charging up a punch. And then Pizarro sees him coming, and he's like freaking out because like one for his own safety, and two because he knows if he tries to stop Garp now, he won't be able to get that ship and they'll escape. And Garp just friggin' pummels that skull right in half, and he pulls out something called a Galaxy Divide, which looks almost the same as the one he used before. What was that one called before? Galaxy. Hold on. That was a Galaxy. What was that? 1081. No, 1080. Galaxy Impact. This one he calls a Galaxy Divide, but it looks like it's very similar because it's got like the lightning and there's a big orbital light around it, probably. There was a color one I saw earlier that looked really cool. I'll have to find it again. So then the pirates are like, the other pirates are freaking out. Like, how the hell does that kind of power still coming out of Garp, and they're freaking out because Pizarro. Oh yeah, this is interesting too. So the punch, this must be because of the hockey. I wanted to bring this up earlier, but I waited for this moment. He punched the skull, and I think because Pizarro's possessing it, because it shows Pizarro's main body, and he must be like inside somewhere, but he looks like he's melding into the material. But he's because Garp's using hockey, maybe the advanced version too, when the punch breaks in half the skull, Pizarro's forehead just looks, I don't know if it splits open, but he receives the impact right there and his blood is spewing across. So is that how, no, Zoro had to find Pika's body. And this is very interesting. And what if this would have worked on Pika? So it's the distraction they needed because now he's probably he's probably seeing stars right now. So and of course this is a great spread by the way when they show the the galaxy divide. It just looks so clean the way the skull is being split and the arms around it. Oh, he does have multiple arms. Someone said that, but I didn't see those before. So, anyways, Kobe and Bruce see this happen, of course, and they both point out, okay, that's the opening. And Bruce is like, "Yep, what are you gonna do now?" And Kobe's, I'll live. I'm gonna live up to his expectations." And then he does this little dash thing. Oh, is that what they call it? That shave? Is that thing I just saw in the from the when I just watched was peeking at the episode a moment ago. So he dashes away out forward like the same way Garp just did. Oh yeah, and it definitely worked because Pizarro. So we switch back to Pizarro and we see the skull part, and he's using his hand because he's using his hand and while he's still controlling the skull to probably check his wound. The one of the hands, the one hand is holding the one big hand he made is holding the touching the skull, and now the one that he was using to try to crush the ship is raised higher away, so it's not. It was floating right over before, and now we get the one more flashback here. We find out a bit more about Kobe's training with Garp and Helmeppo as well. And so what it is, we start with Garp talking to Helmeppo. What he goes on here is we find out that like this is some point midway or further in their training before like when they're still early on though before Enies Lobby I would assume, and Garp approaches Helmeppo and is like, hey, Kobe's been improving. So what he's implying here too, he's saying like I guess in early on when Helmeppo was training, and I don't know if this was shown in the other stuff, he was getting beat up a lot, so he was having a rough time because he was a puny kid. But so at this point, this flashback, Garp's asking Helmeppo because Kobe's getting better. He says Helmeppo's better and improving, and he's getting strong. So, but he's always looking extra beat up recently, and he's bandaging him up himself more. And so we're alternating this too with a flash with the present, and we see Garp still by Pizarro, the Pizarro skull, and he's got this great big grin on his face. And then we also flash to Kobe. He's now placed himself in the air, midair, in front of the hand that's over the ship. And you see these other pirates. These other pirates are just laughing at him, and they're like, that little twerp's heroic reputation is making him bloating his head. What can he do against Pizarro? And then we flip back to the flashback, and it's the dialogue of it, and Helmeppo's like, oh, all those extra wounds, the ones on his hands and shoulders. Well, he told me not to say anything, but I guess I can tell you. So we switch briefly to a little a flashback within this one where Helmeppo's watching Kobe bandaging himself up, and he's talking to himself. Kobe is about how he's got to put many more times effort in than anyone else if he wants to improve. Uh, and I want to be able to protect everyone. And we don't. And so what Kobe says is he's been doing extra training um, on his own, besides what Garp is putting him through. And it says Garp's like, wow, really? He's going off doing that more? And Helmeppo's like, yeah, he's never misses a day, and he's always out there. He'll spend a whole night hitting the battleship bags. This is where the thing from Kuzan and Garp did comes back. And also, we see that at some points here, Kobe's putting himself through so much effort that he's bruising up his hand bad, and Helmeppo has to stop him from hurting himself. Um, so yeah, he's going out there and punching the thing all night until he can't do it anymore. And so now we switch back. That's the end of the flashback. Now we switch back, and Pizarro has noticed that Helmeppo's in front of his oops, over here, his hand, and he laughs at him like, "Oh, what can you do against me? You're just what does he say? You may as well. You're just an ant compared to my hand." Now we switch. We do a bunch of little cutaways here with a bunch of other people. We see that what's her new girl's name? The one who likes Kobe. She's screaming, don't get close because you hurt yourself." And then we see and then Pizarro's laughing more like uh he's screaming like gloating, of course, that just enjoy this moment of your your last moments. I'm gonna enjoy these screams, and even if they get away, I'll just have a Kiji freeze them up on me, on for 'em. And then Kajaku, we switch to Kajaku briefly, and she's trying to order the sails to get the push, add more speed to get them moving. Um, shit. So what was it next? So next we jump to the next little cutaway is uh next cutaway. I think it's still Kajaku or someone on the ship sees they see Kobe up there above them, and they're like they're probably they're trying to tell him, I think, get on the ship. We can't stop that thing. Just escape with us. Uh, and so we switch, and then we briefly see Groose watching, and like, and because they're all like wondering what is he trying to do, and Groose let me see Kobe's face with this huge determination on him, and he's like, if I can't break through this, it'll be as if I let them die. And this is fucking great. You see to him charging up his fist like Garp just did, and he pulls off this move that looks similar to Garp's, and it's reads here like Honesty Impact, and it just dives perfectly through the palm and the entire arm, just completely obliterating it. Where was that one I had earlier? Because someone had a coloring of it too. Where's that one I had? Holy shit! It just looks so good. Here's the one. I got this one on my. Oh yeah, no, there was some color in there, but it doesn't quite have that. It doesn't quite have the or the spherical energy around it like Garp, but it's very similar otherwise. And then we get this great shot of all those pirates screaming in surprise again, and they got Oda does his little eyeball thing with them. And this, wait, didn't they just show that too? Yeah, he did that shot earlier where they have all the eyeballs popping out of some of the pirates when Pizarro got hit by Garp. Um, oh yeah, here's Pizarro inside there, and then Pizarro. Yeah, we switch back to Pizarro. And now he's like got his entire arm is like just can I see that in the camera? I can't see here. His entire arm is here. Is just down the forearm, up and up there, bleeding out. And then there's other pirates nearby seeing him in pain and they're trying to check on him. Oh, there he is. So he's like, yeah, he's inside a room and his torso, his lower body's in the floor. Okay, so that's how it works. He doesn't. He's still like out there, but then he's like, okay. I'm just interesting how his power works. And so everyone else has seen it. It's now Tashigi and what's the girl's name? I wish I knew her name. I gotta look a second. I gotta know her name. I keep forgetting. I know that. Wait, they just sit here. Oh, hold on. I got the chapters. Oh, wait, Galaxy Impact. Here we go. Bruce Hibari. That's her name. So we see Tashigi and Hibari. Hibari, of course, is oh boy. I bet she really likes him now. She's like, you're. She's crying and she's in awe and she's complimenting how incredible he is. Tashiki's like, Kobe, really? Kobe, you can do that? Um, and then the other pirates, sorry, the other Marines on the ship are cheering him on. How do I do this? There we go. Let me go like that. There we go. Why didn't I just do that sooner? There we go. And then they start realizing, oh, that the debris is gonna come crashing down on them. But then we see Garp in the background nearby. He's laughing because he's like, "That's my boy," and Hamepo is there too, like complimenting him, and he's crying his eyes out. And of course, Groose is kind of upset because like he made it clear a while back that he's like his rival because he's much higher ranked than Kobe, so he was pretty ticked when Vice Admiral when Garp called him the Kobe the future, and he's like, "You've been hiding that on me, all this strength," and then he pulled when he now this is where he conducts the part of the plan that Garp ordered him, and he makes a web out of the clay with his clay power to wrap up the hand debris from like a net so it doesn't crush the ship. And then Kobe, now we switch to Kobe, and it looks like that punch took it all out of him though. And Helmeppo comes and rescues him because he looks really knocked out. Sorry. So now I'm reading it. So now the other people are cheering because Bruce and Kobe and Helmeppo get on the ship here, and then they're like, okay, now we just gotta get Garp. And everyone's like cheering on the deck of the ship there. Oh, look, Hibari comes up and hugs Kobe. And all the other ones they're like basically patting him on the shoulder or stuff like that. And now Tashigi goes up and tries to contact Garp. No, so Garp contacts her first. Sorry, it says he's basically making the official. We saved Kobe, and Tashigi, yes, please, let's get back now. Instead, Garp says, withdraw our troops, get out of here. I'll figure something else out. And then he reiterates like his message earlier, like he felt in that lecture. It's the priority that you guys escape. You finally get that, right? Oh, and then he says yes, and then he says this is you must escape because our success overall will prove to pirates that this emperor is not invulnerable. He says like it's a serious blow to pirates everywhere. So, and then he says, and the last thing he says is never forget, you are all the future of the Marines. And we get this scene where they've Kuzan and the other captains have all come up along with other pirates and surrounded Garp, and Kuzan's got him pinned to the ground with an icicle and other ice holding him down. And the Garp's just sitting there laughing away nonetheless. Also, the other, yeah, we see shot Vasco, and oh, San Juan's got back. They somehow got San Juan out of the water. Oh, Pizarro probably got him out. Actually, that was something I was thinking about. Can Pizarro properly, would Pizarro be able to pull him out? Because if he's using the island fruit, wouldn't that weaken him? Or maybe if he just sticks one hand in there, it doesn't matter. I don't think it wouldn't matter. So we end the chapter now with the narrator, and we get one panel first showing a faraway shot of Hachielso Island, and the narrator tells us how in the next day's paper, and it declares how Garp, the legendary hero, is missing in action after a successful rescue of the young hero Kobe. And then it switches back briefly to a panel of Egghead Island, and it says another story would also gain the world's attention. Wait, how come this text is a little different than the one I saw in the other? Hold on a second. There's two versions of this chapter I'm reading, and I want to read this other one. Hold on a sec. So and it says, so the other story here it reads as the Egghead incident, where Straw Hat Luffy would face a siege on the island of the future, or that would be reported to the world. I'm reading two different versions. And we see this final scene also shows about a half dozen of those marine ships. I guess it's, yeah, because not Blackbeard ships. The marine ships arriving finally at the island. And then there's a break next week. Shit, of course. And then here, so he officially tells there's always like a little other text that Oda will leave, and it reads, "Our tale shifts back to the island of the future." Oh, that was too much. I'm done. What a fucking chapter. Kobe, and that punch. And the coloring. I got this chapter here where someone's colored in some of these. It just looks so good in the color. I don't know if they'll use it that. Oh, that's what it means. Honestly, yeah. Oh my god, the way he just smashes that. Cause yeah, like I just said, I looked at that episode and he has some speed going on. Back 2 years ago, but so apparently he's been training himself. That's the thing here. He's been based. This is why I think I can see why Garp is so extra proud, because now he's been clearly training Kobe to fight like him. Because it's funny too, because we know Luffy fights like Garp too. They like to use their fists. Clearly, Luffy has had to adapt differently because he's got rubber powers from his zone. He's a zone now, so he's got even more of a unique repertoire that how he can do things. But he still likes to punch things at the end of the day, and Garp does that too. And now we got 3 chapters here where we were able to see what he can do. But now, and we clearly see too that he's very upset. We've known for a long time that he's upset about how Luffy and back then too Ace didn't join the Marines like he wanted, and I was talking in a little stream I was doing the other day, a video. I still got uploaded it too. I was wondering like how upset he is about. We got it briefly here with the Kuzan flashback that he's really upset that his dragon became a revolutionary, but they didn't really show his face about that. And I'm really would be interested, as I was saying the other day too, that to see how he feels whenever he sees like a new incident happening with the revolutionaries, and he get like look at the paper and be like, God damn, dragons at that again. Or is he really proud? Because he's proud sometimes when Luffy does these things, certain actions. So I'm just wondering how he really feels about what Dragon's up to. But anyways, now we get to how Kobe is representing, like, pitch perfectly, I guess, what Garp wanted for especially what we knew he wanted for Luffy. He wanted a successor. He knew he's getting up in his years. He even just said in that one chapter, I think it was beginning of 1080, one. Like that punch wasn't as good as I used to be. Used to be able to do it. And I know any other pirate didn't even believe him. But yeah, Kobe can smash through mountains now. Uh, 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 no one out there better not be anyone out there, a pirate who wants to aspire to be like Don. What's his name, Grinjow? We know he's an ally to us now, but he Garp took his, Garp did that to his head decades ago, and if someone else comes out there and thinks they can take Kobe on like that, we see that he's got what it takes to stop someone like that. Uh, yeah, this is fucking good. So Teach is not going to be happy. Kuzan was saying like, I can't let you escape with Kobe. Well, you lost one hero and got the other. I don't know how Teach is gonna feel about that. And your bay's probably a bit messed up too. No wait, not this the bay. Well, the middle of the island, the town is all is messed up. Um, so Teach is gonna be a bit soured up when he gets back because like he just beat Law, and also I was wondering too. He didn't Law escaped with what's his Mink's friend, his crew member. But what if Blackbeard caught some of the other? I wonder if Blackbeard did end up taking prisoner some of Law's other crew members. Uh, I know that the way I know Beppo, that's his name. I know the way Beppo talks. Some of them probably end up escaping in the water because and because I don't think any of the other ones use devil fruits too, and they because they're from what is it, the North Blue, they'll be fine in escaping that in the water. Just I'm wondering if Blackbeard was able to capture some there or something. So I mean, he's gonna probably be coming back feeling pretty good, except that he lost Law. He probably kind of that's the thing too. He's gonna be a bit miffed because he lost Law, and now he's gonna come back, and now Kobe's gone too. And I think Garp is gonna be even less of a bargaining chip for what he wanted because uh, how do I put this? Garp is famous among the Marines because of his legendary hero status, but he um he disrespects the celestial dragons openly. The Goros they aren't gonna want to rescue his ass. they unless they really get some kind of mutiny among the Marines over his disappearance and their lack of action. I don't think they're gonna uh, stick their necks out or do anything to try and get him back. Or I should say, if Blackbeard wants to do the same deal that he was going to do with Kobe, I don't think they'll take it. They won't take the deal. They won't care. He was like, you can keep him. He served his purpose. He's a pain in our ass. Have him. So that'll be interesting. So wait, if Vasco shot, I'm just looking at the captains again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, that's right. We don't know where Lafitte is, do we? So, anyways, I think that's where I end this now. That was that was good. So who was there? So Hibari, Ejuku. I'm just surprised. Trying to think what I was gonna say about Garp. I had something else I wanted to say. Garp definitely knows how to. And again, oh, that's something else. I was rewatching a while back when the Straw Hats met Garp. I think it was Sanji that said, "I can see where Luffy gets his vitality," and we certainly just saw that here because Garp gets up with a stab wound, takes out Kuzan, and then uh, smashes the skull. Did he really smash it in half? He kind of did. It looked like it's still kind of together there, but it's got a big old crack. Uh, yeah, it just got a crack. He didn't really destroy it. Um, right. So that also means with going back to Egghead, we're finally might be able to figure out what's going on with Saint Saturn. He's arriving there with Kizaru. So anyways, yeah, I think I'll leave that here for now, and maybe I'll do another post-chapter discussion with this. I did one the other day where I was bringing up some other stuff about the with other things from these intermission chapters. I was talking about Morgans and Dragon and some other stuff. But yeah, I'll just stop the stream here because it's getting kind of late. I want to finally go about and see what Tekking and some other people thought about this chapter.